Hello, sorry about this, and welcome to DCS Play. Now, I had so much fun doing the last image that I did with you guys. Now, unfortunately, some of that data got lost, and I referred to a previous video which I have to delete off of YouTube, unfortunately, because it's just not processing, or it's lost the data somehow, which is a little bit disappointing. So I thought, you know what, let me do a video on a completely different character so that you guys can see I'm not just taking from I haven't done anything on Rachet and Crank yet, and this is like the beginning phases of how I would think and how to break this character down. So I actually thought to myself, you know what, let's do a segment. I want to do a segment every week and see if I can do that with you guys, and it's called Character Breakdown. So you guys can leave me you can leave me comments, comments below, suggesting characters that we can break down, and then see the different shapes they're made out of. Now remember, this also applies to background images. All of this refers to taking your techniques and kind of like applying it to all the aspects of the world. So what I'm going to do with you guys today is we're going to break down this character, and that's why we call it Character Breakdown. So welcome to Aspiring Artistic Pigeon, and yeah, let's get started. I've got Rachet and Crank here. I've basically just downloaded an image. Now, I want you guys to understand something first before I begin. Because of the level of artist that I'm busy trying to reach, I am also just taking on like the straight on image of the characters. As much information that I can see as I can see it, but you can break down a character later on with these exact same techniques and manipulate the shapes. That's what I want you to know, is that if you get a picture, and I'm going to show you indicate like these images here, you can manipulate his head to fit into that way of this looking. But you also, because of reference, you kind of need to know small details in him. So like you'll need to know that there's like those 3 lines that run down his chest. As I said, I'm a line artist, so that's what I see. I see different things within the reference. But okay, let's get started on old Rachet here, and then we'll do Crank as well at the back there. So what am I going to do now? Okay, well, I'm going to break this character down for you guys to see what shapes he consists out of and how you can actually make him. Now, I think this is quite nice because it's different than having those, like when I grew up, there was these books and they would show you how to draw characters, but they'd only show you like the basic shapes and everything, and there wasn't much of an explanation to it. So it's kind of nice to be able to go through the digital way of taking a character from his actual body and shape. I'm not going to monetize this again. This is not my character to do so with, but yeah, let's get started. Yeah, so I do apologize about losing that last video, but this is going to explain exactly what I did. Okay, I've got my erase pencil here. As you can see, I'm going to just make it blue for you guys, and we're going to break down old Rachet. Okay, you can see within Rachet over here, okay, on the new layer, is a circle. Okay, you can see that circle clear as day. Once you train your mind to see that. Okay, now you can also potentially do a squarish shape here for his cheekbones, kind of like not actually a sort of a diamond shape actually, to break him down. And just remember that this is going to be rounded, but there are different ways to do that. So you can break him down into a simpler shape like this, which is a one-off, or you can try and take him a little bit more down a level quickly. I'm just going to erase those lines quickly, get back to my pencil, and break Rachet down a little bit more. So in actual fact, what we can do is we can construct kind of like what you would construct a face. All right, but what you see with Rachet is he's got these puffed out cheeks. So you're going to want to add it's basically a circle and a circle into that image there. Then with his ears, it's basically just big triangle shapes. So what you can do is you can pull your triangle down, but you got to remember that you've got a curve that just breaks that triangle up a bit. So it's still a triangle shape, but you want to break that triangle down a bit there, okay? The next thing is he's got a slight neck. You can't really see it because it's really pushed up into there. You know, he's an anthropomorphic character. It's basically just it's an animal mixed with a human being, which makes it simple once you've really gone in and studied anatomy. Which, by the way, I want to begin doing a Patreon account so that I can teach you guys more one-on-one and or give you guys proper courses on how to do things. All right, so what am I doing here? I'm basically just breaking him down into skeletal features. All right, the first base of his skeletal feature would obviously be the circle. Okay, so I'm not only going to break him down like this on top of his image, I'll break him down in a different way as well. And then obviously he's got a small neck and his shoulder base, which is running something like that. All right, that's his shoulder base. I always kind of just draw this line to indicate the shoulder. Okay, this is again sort of the stick figure of his drawing. So let's break his stick figure down quickly before I continue breaking down all the shapes on his body, because that can really harm your drawing later on, because you're not really paying attention to the figure of the drawing, you know, and you're paying more attention to building up shapes together. So all right, so then he's got his arm out and he's got a link. I draw these circles to indicate links, basically of the elbow and of the hand and things like that. So he's got quite a large hand there. His chest, you know, a lot of people basically just put down a triangle for the chest in the beginning. This is really just the beginning. His spine is running from the back there and it's running down like that. Once you study your anatomy again, you'll learn how to do those things. And then he's got his links. You can see there's not much of a definition on the hip there. There's a slight definition of the hip, which means that you're not going to emphasize, like on actual people, the hip bone of the character. But his hip bone, if you want to see it, is there. You can see that hip bone sticking out there, and that's basically the shape of his thighs, which will bend out over there, just on those points. I put these links in there again to indicate the character's joint links. Joint links, for me, it helps me to perceive how the movement of the character can go, because personally I used to work with a lot of different with my mind, actually, with my mind only, and maybe reference photos to try and figure out a pose. It's only recently I got myself, or my wife got me a artist mannequin, which was great. It's a great tool to have. It really does simplify things, but unfortunately they don't bend quite the way you need them to in a lot of cases. Some of the things that I know human beings can do. All right, so that's basically the skeletal. I'm just going to erase that. But there you can see I've just broken down his pose on how he's standing there in the skeletal phase. Yeah, you can add the hip bone there if you want to, and that will define more where your joints go. And you can also add, you can see his rib cage sticking out there. So that would be Rachet's rib cage. So you can take it from triangle phase. And remember, okay, I can unfortunately say remember, and it sucks because that video is gone. But I'm enjoying this. So like I enjoy doing these videos with you guys, and that's I think the style which I'm going to begin doing with you guys from now on, is kind of just to break down characters, because you know what, as a beginning artist, everybody loves start drawing, fan art and things like that. It's kind of where you begin, and that's how you want to draw, especially nowadays and age. People just want to draw other people's characters, which is not bad. I mean, that's how you learn. That's how you get the passion for it in the beginning, especially when you're doing cartoony things like this. Okay, I'm just going to erase his skeleton here quickly. It's just so that I can go back to doing his breakdown on his body. All right. So basically, as you can see, I'm still breaking down the shape. So I'm gonna probably erase the other skeletal lines as well, because at this point we're just actually looking for the basic shapes he's made out of. Well, this is not going to be a very long video. This is just basically to catch you guys up on what the other character's other half was I was talking about, and that was all about how to break down a character. Again, with the ears, you can see I did the triangle, but you can kind of extend it and do a square there, and then put a triangle. It will make it more simplified for you to do, to be able to cut less down, because then you can adjust this ear, kind of like if he was quizzical, you can adjust the ear a little bit more and do different positions there. It's just to get the characters' shapes down. With the face, you want to basically put your center line in, because this center line really applies to a lot of different aspects. A lot of advanced artists, in a way, kind of still use their center lines, and mine's just a little bit off there. But I still use the center lines on characters I develop from scratch, because I need to know where the character is going and how he's facing, and what's the position of his face going to be. So like it's not quite straight on, it's got a little bit of a bend. If you'll notice, I'm going to talk about various aspects here, but in my Patreon account, what you guys can get is like the full-on thing. Oh yes, that's also something I need to discuss with you guys. I'm jumping right into the character here, but the first initial thing that you need to know with art, your basic breakdown of art, is you need to know different shapes. So these are going to be your main shapes. Okay, now you can manipulate these shapes and you can do whatever. I'm just gonna put a cylinder here. A lot of people draw with cylinders. You'll see that they do the arms of the cylinders, and a cylinder is just basically like a little pipe. If you don't know what the word is, then it's just a pipe. It's a pipe shape. Now these simple shapes apply to so many things in real life that you can physically look around the place where you are right now sitting. You can look at the screen and break down that screen into the shapes that it's made out of. Like my screen, that's actually behind me. I'm using the laptop screen, so I'm going to just show you my other screen, because it contains a little bit more different shapes in it, because that's the laptop screen. Square. There you go. It's got a little bit of rounded edges, but it's still square. And then you get with the other screen that I have, it's got like sort of like this cylinder shape here, but if you're looking at it dead on, it's going to be like a rectangle. Then it's got okay, this is the other shape that I didn't put in. It's a, what do you call it again? It's a cone, basically. Yeah, it's basically just like a cylinder mixed with a triangle. So you'd put, if you look at this from a dead point straight on, you'd see the triangle shape only. But if you look at the bottom of the shape, you'd only see a circle. And then sometimes you'll see a leading to, like if there was shading and stuff, you'd see points that it's leading to at the top there, indicating that it's a cylinder, that it's a a cone. But anyway, so with the screen at the back of me, you've got the cone shape, and then you've got a long circular shape. But if you look at a circle dead on in a two-dimensional way, it looks like a flat piece of line, or you can even say a rectangle. So that's basically the breakdown of the shape. Okay, that's how you break down shapes, and that's something I just had to add on. So sorry for breaking the progress on him, but I had to add those different shapes in there. You need to know how to do these shapes and how to manipulate them. So what you can do to, for instance, be developing this is go find these shapes in different images, just like I'm doing here, and also find out how to manipulate these shapes to turn them, do different things with them, like a cylinder. If I had to turn the cylinder to face us a little bit, and it's disappearing a little bit to the background, it's going to go a little bit back there to a vanishing point. But that I'll discuss, all those perspective points I'll discuss on Patreon and things like that. So the more advanced levels, the more in-depth things. This is just a quick video for you guys. Alright, so basically we've broken down his face. If you really want to further go on break down his face, he's got his eyes here. Now you don't see everything of that circle because obviously it's his eye socket. So you don't see your whole eyes, but your eyeball is behind in your skull. But the circle gives you an idea of where the position is. Now, if you want to think of characters, your basic distance between your eyes is going to be an eye. So it looks like a third eye there, but just get that into your head, and then eventually we won't have to draw that circle. So everything in the beginning when you're starting with your art, it's kind of drawing these long, tedious ways of drawing and getting that all done. Okay, so his nose is a triangle. Let's take his cap, for instance. Okay, so his cap, if I have to look at the shape, you can take it down through where the position is. And this is going to, depending on the position of this character, you're going to have to break him down quite a bit. So we have sort of a triangle here, but it's not really a triangle. It's like a rectangle triangle. Here you have a triangle, definitely. And here you have two squares. They might not look precisely square in the definition of a square, but they are squares. That's just the easiest way to describe them. But remember, you've already drawn the circle, which is his base form. That was the most important circle. Oh, we've got the dogs barking in the background. All right, so I'm just listening out. All right, so now we have the circle for his deltoid. Okay, so a deltoid is basically a big circle, but it includes a triangle. Okay, that is your shape for a shoulder muscle. Now, if you go study anatomy, that's pretty simple to understand. So circle, a little bit of a triangle at the end. That way you'll be able to find that muscle much easier. Okay, and then you have a cylinder shape here. I'm sort of doing anatomy at the same time, but not really. So I'm not going to focus on anatomy. I'm just breaking him into like more basic shapes, and then advanced shapes a little bit more over there. So getting these different things down. All right, and then here the circle is going back there, but okay, you're not going to do the entire circle there. There's a cylinder shape here. It's all about manipulation. The only reason I've taken this very basic form of him is to be able to explain nicely to you. All right, this is a big square, as you can see there, from the top of his chest there. Okay, here is a bit of a triangle. Here is a triangle as well. And then you'll get his neck, which is a square shape. Alright, so... Alright, next thing is next year, okay? We're gonna go down and break down his legs. It sounds horrible, I'm gonna break his legs. Actually, let's just first do his arms, his upper torso and the upper body features. Okay, so I know that his glove is not really physically part of his structure. So I know there's a cylinder lying within there. And then we have a square shape for his hand. Yeah, I'm breaking down other people's art. It's all right, but I think people will enjoy. Especially younger artists. You younger artists will enjoy the breaking down of characters to know how they are formed. So just pay attention to the shapes that I'm creating here, and then this is just basic lesson on. This is a joint. All right. The circle normally represents a joint again, but it's not always necessary, especially when you're breaking down. You just want to find the basic forms. I'm going a little bit more advanced into breaking down the character, which I probably shouldn't be doing. It's just because I'm intrigued to see how this character was broken down, created. You can see the square there. I'm not going to say every shape. I think it's kind of pointless because you can see. If you want to break down his chest a little bit more, you can, like I indicated there, you can see that rib cage there. Now that rib cage, is going to go down. Down. This is a little bit different than my last rib cage, but okay. It's just because I'm closer in and I can see it a little bit better. And then you can see his square shape for his abdominal muscles here. And then you've got this rectangle over here. And this is all just practice. This is all just getting used to shapes, and this is very important for you guys to do so that you can understand how to create a three-dimensional object on a two-dimensional plane. It's as simple as that. Okay, his belt is just a long. It's just a long rectangle with a triangle and a square combined. Breaking down a character into the various shapes. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, upper thigh. Break down that character. And now you can't pull these cylinders into one another, because you can see, well, you can do it with that line because it will give you the baseline of where his legs or his torso is running, that connection, because that's basically just a triangle shape as well, as you can see. But you don't want to now really bear on doing a cylinder shape into this, because the leg doesn't run into there. You just got to know that there is a cylinder shape, but it's broken off by a triangle. The best advice I can give you in this instance, okay, you can see his leg is running a little bit more in. Remember, his clothes aren't counting. I'm not counting his clothes. You can break down his clothes as well to see the style of the character and everything, but you want to focus on his basic form. His basic form is where this circle is just representing the kneecap. His basic form is underneath his clothes, so you're kind of undressing the character, but not in a naughty way. So there you go. Yeah, we're gonna make Rachet naked. Not really. We don't want to do that. when you're drawing him up from principle, from like the lower parts. Yeah. All right. So his leg is just running into this hole. Okay, that is not a cool line there. So just ignore that line. I'll take it out now. Where's my eraser? I should connect everything. Reinstalling this program was I lost a lot of information that I need to put in again, and I must just do it. But anyway, there's your funnel, as you can see there, and then you've got with his foot. The foot is normally like different shapes together, so you're going to want to find the different shapes within. Normally the ankle has got a little bit of a circle here, then you've got a bit of a triangle actually over here, and then you break it down. So like from the front is always like easier if you've got a character who's got a front facing foot. It's very triangular in shape. Normally with a human, you get the ankle over here, so you just add the ankle in there. All right, so let me just erase this. This doesn't look so great. There's a breakdown, so if you don't get it at first, try again. So let's do this again, and then just find that shape. Okay, so what do we see? You can say we see a triangle right over there, but it's not a perfect triangle. I'm just referring, or you can say square or triangle, but you can find that there. All right, and then you can find another triangle facing this way. All right, so it's just a matter of breaking down. I'm not trying to actually get that bottom part of his foot, which is the shoe. I'm just trying to get him himself. And then his tail is obviously a cylinder with a cone shape, and then a triangle. Or you can even say double cone. So like you'll see that one comes there and that one comes there. And that is the basic breakdown. So let's quickly get Crank as well. Crank is like the easiest thing in the world to break down. He's a square, okay? Just think of him in a 3D manner of a square. Here's a square. Then he's got a cylinder over here, because it's like a little robot. And then you've got that triangle, you've got that. You've got a square here, and you've got another triangle there. Because he's a robot, like this very squarely made, stylized robot, he's got very basic shapes. Crank, this isn't like the proper breakdown of Crank though, because this is not his character. He's not always on Ratchet's back. So just bear that in mind. Your task will be to go and find an image of Crank and to break him down. I think it's a simple task and easy to do. Circle for his initial part of his face, as I've always done. This line indicates where his center, where his nose is, and then the circular shapes for him, which is his eyes. Again, if you want to say a cylinder shape over here, that's fine, because you don't want to just draw a line and then a circle. That doesn't look like much. He has got a little bit of a cylinder there. And then his mouth, you can see there's like a bottom square over there. But that's basic breakdown. You can even do it with his gun. As you can see, his gun is also very very shape orientated, obviously, because it's the tech that he's holding, Ratchet's gun. So you've got a square. You've got to look behind all the shapes, and you've got to put them together. This is just combining shapes, and this is the end result of doing so. There's a cylinder, a circle with another circle, another circle, cylinder, square, rectangle actually. He has another square, square. Now, I'm not paying attention to the curvature of the character. You must understand that one principle as well, is you don't pay direct attention to the curves of the character, not in the beginning, or not when you're breaking him down or her down, because you just want to find, this is actually a cylinder, so you're going to want to put that and indicate that as a cylinder. There is a square with another square like running, or a rectangle running through it. Cylinder, and then we have I will draw a crank of my own, just so that you guys can see that, I'm not just pulling shapes from this character, that I will be also engaging into drawing this character myself, just like I did with the Final Fantasy character. But as far as you can see, those are the shapes that make up he. Yes, I had to make the rhyme. And when you take him away, you can see Crank there. I mean, I can see him. That's definitely Crank and Rachet. You can see them both. They're right there, but in the very basic form of what they are. And yeah, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that's basically the video for today. What I will do is I'll mock up a drawing of Crank within this, within this week, because I still got to do another drawing for my Threadless account, so that's also going to take me a little bit of time. So I might do Crank next week, Monday, for you guys. This is the first time I'm streaming this week. It's Thursday. It's a little bit late again. I do apologize for that. I've just had to catch up on a lot of my work. And yeah, so this is the basic way of thinking on how to define shapes. Now, your task, and again I will say, is to take Crank there. So you guys go pull an image of Crank like this one, and even if it's on paper, or if it's on if it's on digital or paper, it doesn't matter. If you guys want to take a photo of that and send it to my either my email or my Instagram or Pinterest or DeviantArt, the easiest thing is to put it online on DeviantArt and just share it with me. And then I'll be able to check it out and say, good job, you've done well and everything. So, I'm not going to be like, I'm not trying to say I'm the one to approve you, but this is just your basic knowledge set that you need. So breaking down of character and character shapes. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a segment of this on every week. I think every week, Monday, I'm going to be doing these things. So next week, Monday, I'll probably do another one of these. And then after that, I'll go into drawing Crank. But I'll take another character, I'll break him down into the simple shapes that make up that character. So we're going to call it character breakdown. And that's how it's going to be, character breakdown. This is the first character breakdown, which I am doing right now because my previous one didn't go online. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Donovan, and this is Aspiring Autistic Pigeon. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and share the love with everybody so that we can get this channel out there. So, especially to the younger artists out there, I'm here to help you guys and help you develop into your art. Please, you guys are not alone. If you guys are struggling, in a household where no one really sees your art and stuff, engage with me. I'm here to talk to you guys. Leave comments below. I will get back to you. And also, just join me on the different various accounts that I have, because that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm doing. And if you guys want to check out my products, go check out on threadless.com, www.aspiringpigeon.threadless.com. But I will leave a link below for you guys. Those are my products, and you can actually go and purchase yourself a t-shirt or a pencil case or iPhone cover, whatever the hell you need. You are more than welcome to go and get something from that. I'm going to be starting a Patreon account soon, and then we're going to go more into depth of, I'll be teaching with the anatomy of these characters and much more. not of these characters, but of I've just been teaching anatomy, because these are all my characters. I'm not allowed. I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't want to, step on any toes. It's not how I am. So these are the free things, but I really need the support. So if you guys can check that out, I'll be so happy. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Guys, keep at it and keep it fun. This is Donovan from DCS Places, Aspiring Autistic Pigeon. Hope you guys enjoyed, and just have a great time at it. Cheers, guys.